Hi guys, my name is Lelasophia. I am an artist and fine jewelry designer. If you like contemporary fine jewelry, if you like luxury handbags, all things interiors, then I have some fun videos for you. You guys, it is one of the most anticipated seasons of the year, okay? Here in New York City, it is sample sale season. If you know, you know. I've lived here essentially my whole life, but I've really been in the city for a very long time, you know, by myself as an adult. And I've frequented some, sample sales. It's been quite fun over the years. However, there's one. There's really, I guess, in our little corner of the internet, there is, the Olympics of sample sales. And that, of course, is none other than the very elusive, very exciting The Row sample sale. First and foremost, if you guys are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see you in all of my future videos. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at lelasophia jewelry. I put out videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and so I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. Okay, as I said, we're just gonna jump right into this. I had to let my people know, okay, because we all have been, talking out on the internet and, figuring out when the Row sample sale was gonna be. And I think we have some alleged details. I will make a follow-up post. If it's that important, I'll make a video, but I'll make a follow-up post if any of the details in this video end up changing. Because again, these are all like kind of speculated times. Is that how you say that? I don't know. These times are all speculated. And so if any details change, I shall absolutely be letting us know. But also follow me on Instagram because I will post more there kind of always. And so let's get right into it. One of, the in the know kind of TikTok accounts, Instagram accounts, Madison Avenue Spy, we love, and she has reported the times and dates of the Row sample sale. There you go, Merry Christmas, screenshot for yourself. But regardless, I think, we have just a couple days. And I thought that I'd go over the pros and cons of considering standing in line at the Row sample sale, of considering going, because I have some opinions, and I also want to make sure that you guys make the most of it if you are here in New York City, or if you happen to be randomly here next week, or in the, when is it? Yeah, in this literally next week, in the next 10 days, I guess. Or have times changed, and do we even need in-person sample sales anymore? So let's just get right into it. First of all, I just have to admit, I've never been, because I'm a girl out here with anxiety, and I have a dog that I love way too much to leave for 12 hours of the day. The Row sample sale, I think, can be very, very, very hit or miss. And I think that there are some really good reasons as to why it can be hit or miss. If you've been to sample sales before, you already know that sample sales can be very hit or miss. And of course, you're gonna see some girl on TikTok who gets like some insanely amazing bag that you've always wanted, that they just randomly put out at the randomly perfect time that she saw behind the curtain and happened to swipe it up. And most people, I think it has been a split board, because I was gonna say most people probably haven't had the best luck at the Row sample sale specifically, only in the last couple years. I'm sure in the beginning, we all, regret not going in the early years where you probably could get a Margot for $2,000 or something insane like that. Okay, that is really true. However, it is a risk. And so I think it's important just to put that in there, because it definitely is a risk. I think in past years, this is all from what I've seen on TikTok, there's like a lot of shoes. There seem to be a lot of pants randomly, and the bags will be very, very limited. To be honest with you, I think this year, I know this is like probably not a very helpful video, but I think this year I have a split board. Like, it might go one way of both extremes. Again, I don't know if that was said properly. It might go one of both ways that might be like absolutely insane. So it might be worth checking out, just if you are one of those people who loves to stand on lines and has the stamina and energy for that. More power to you. It could be like absolutely insane, and they could be getting rid of a whole bunch of stock. They just have these new business partners, like they could be wanting to start fresh, and they could put everything out at the sample sale. Or what I think is possibly more likely, similarly, you know, how we've seen their last 2 runway shows, particularly what we're in right now. I'm like, what day is it? The winter 2024 show, and also the show that we just saw. So the windfall, I'm like, where are we? The one that just showed in Paris, is that the spring? Or no, the summer 2025? Is that right? I don't know. My brain is a little bit scrambled. The show that just showed, the very redundant, in Paris, that and the last show in Paris, there were barely any bags. And so I wonder, I think it would be very of the row to not put one singular bag in the sample sale. My theory on that is that they started as a clothing company, they will end as a clothing company. I always say, the second they start making extended sizes, I think I might just buy the row from now until forever. You really only need 5 pieces in your wardrobe forever. They're apparently that good. And then, you know, I might have to wait in line for 12 hours at the sample sale when they sell a 3XL. But, you know, that's not today. I think that they do a cheeky little thing that's like, just remember, we know, guys, we know you love our bags. We know they're trending. But I really think they were not the people behind making it that trending. I think they're going to do the right things with their newfound whatever popularity, because they've always been a if you know, you know kind of brand, but now they've reached, oh, this is the new in luxury. And I've made many videos on that of how I feel, because I really think they always have been. However, I just really think it would be so them to be like, yeah, sorry. If you want our shoes and our pants and our amazing ready to wear and maybe an accessory or two, the people who know will know and will go to the sample sale. And a lot of people in the past have come away with like 5 pairs of shoes. And if this is your time that you've been wanting some really cute little strappy sandals or a pair of boots, I doubt they'll have any loafers or sneakers or something like that. Now is your time. But again, who knows? This is the first time in their entire, this is the first time that I've already reported on that they have new, you know, partners. They have new investors. I guess, should I say investors rather than partners? They have new investors. And so the investors could, you know, they could have come to some conclusion that is, we're just going to get rid of everything and start fresh. I don't know. So this is kind of, it's a bit rogue because this is a new time for the row, a new and very exciting time, might I add, for the row. Now, here is the part, because I'm adding in my own, you know, personal opinions here. Yes, I can make like personal excuses as to why I won't probably wait in line for that long, even though you do get a lot of FOMO. You know what I mean? You really get that FOMO that's like, darn, maybe if I went at the right time, there would be no line. I have 2 more points, because the one point is exactly what I just said. This year, the row is different, okay? It is no longer if you know kind of brand. It is no longer the coolest of the cool. I mean, it will always be the coolest of the cool. Like, there were stylists, writers, friends of the brand, all those things, you know, like even in the private sale days that were waiting hours to get into that sale. Imagine, okay, that was pre this insane year of the row's like newfound popularity and trendiness, which is super crazy because I think it's quite antiquated to say trendy and the row in the same sentence. Imagine the floods of people that are going to be going this year, and a lot of first-time buyers. I think people are probably going to be really excited to go. If you are one of those people, you know what? Go. Like, honestly, do it for us. Do it for us who are too scared to like wait in line for so long. Go for it, especially if it's your first year buying into the row, because as I've said, I feel like I've said this more so privately in conversations with people, but just to say in person, like I always joke in every video of mine about the row that I'm like, I get it. If you haven't actually, like, it's not just touching and feeling anymore. If you haven't like really worn an item from the row, you probably think to yourself, okay, like, cute, it's perfectly fine looking, it's a little bit boring and basic. I understand that. I don't agree, but I understand that, you know, that thought process. There's always some random person that comments on my video that's like, whoa, you are way too excited, which I think is hilarious, because the second you wear a piece from the row, which I have an entire video coming out about how like it is just kind of undeniable. The second you wear it, you're like, oh, it's the same thing as wearing vintage jewelry. It's the same thing as wearing vintage Chanel. Vintage has always been where it's at, simply for quality's sake, and the row takes vintage level quality into today. And I know that sounds really stupid and it probably sounds absolutely insane, but until you wear a piece, you might not understand the impact of how good they feel to wear and how well they wear, and how just like each piece just matches perfectly with the next and anything else from any other designer that you have in your wardrobe. And now I'm gonna get carried away, but essentially I think that there probably will be a lot, and I'm not saying dozens, I'm not even saying hundreds, probably thousands of first-time buyers who bought a Margot for the first time this year and said, what have I been missing? Like, where have I been? The row is that girl, that brand. I'm obsessed. And so essentially the lines are going to be absolutely insane this year. If the lines weren't already crazy enough the last several years, they might be times 1,000. There are things that you can get. Listen, if you got it like that, I have last year especially, I like kind of considered this. There's like apps or something that you can get a line sitter to wait for you and pay them. Listen, more power to you. Go for it. However, again, not in my house, and I have a really good reason as to why, but I just have to say that because we just have to expect, comparing from past years' popularity of the sample sale, this is one of the coveted sample sales, to this year is going to be a new beast. It's going to be absolute insanity, and I just have to warn us. However, I will say, last year I remember I was stalking the TikTok pages and my brother and I were both at the ready, like, should we go right now? Is there a lull in the line or something? I do remember seeing videos. Some videos said people literally waited overnight. People literally waited in line for 12 hours, 6 hours. It was 6 blocks long, all these crazy things. I know if you're watching this video and you don't care about this, first of all, thank you. But second of all, you're probably like, huh? It's insane. People do insane things. But I also saw people that were like, I went at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday and there was nobody there. So, you know, at your own risk, I think is PSA for this whole video. And for my last and final reason, do we need sample sales anymore? Because you know, there's always going to be a buyer who only wants to buy new. Good for you. Genuinely, that like sounded probably snooty, but genuinely more power to you. I am not that person. I love a worn item. That's how I first got into the row. Obviously seeing my mom's. My mom pretty much has only bought store, you know, fresh from store pieces, but she has doubled down a little bit in pre-loved, which I'm very happy with, because it's just like there's so many styles from seasons ago that were only one-offs, that they only, you know, brought out for one singular season, and if you missed it, you missed it. And so sometimes you do have a little bit of, oh my god, wait, I really wanted that. Like my Everett bag, I was like, oh, they're probably never gonna make this bag, and certainly never gonna make this bag in gold eel skin ever again. And so I, you know, gladly got it off the pre-loved market. So if you are that person who only wants to buy fresh from store, new items, more power to you. Genuinely, this is your moment. You know, I see how that would be super beneficial to wait in line for 12 hours and just get 5 new from store shoes that nobody's ever touched before. Go for it. However, this is a new era that we're in, okay? This is a completely new era that I talk about all the time. There are so many avenues of pre-loved sites, consignment stores. The consignment store right by me, I was like, this is the most New York thing. Like, I saw multiple bags from the row there. I was like, you know what? Go us New Yorkers. Of course, only in like Manhattan are there consignment stores with like, there was a double circle bag. I was like, or some, I can't quite remember, but I was like, come through. It is a different beast. Now we have so many more opportunities to buy bags, shoes, scarves, coats, anything from past seasons that other collectors have let go of. I have sold 2 bags from the row now, and I'm like so happy that somebody else really likes the pieces that I really, really loved, just didn't use as much or didn't wear as much or had my time with. For me, the amount of anxiety that I have and the amount of, you know, planning and plotting that I really like to go into each purchase, going in blindly to a sample sale is very exhilarating and very, very, very fun, absolutely. but being able to see and think a little bit longer about a piece just because it's on Fashion File, because Fashion File is selling the row now, which I've already said, but just FYI, that is a very recent addition to Fashion File's designer list. There's so many more consignment stores, so many more secondhand stores, so many more gigantic conglomerate brands now accepting pieces secondhand from the row. I'm just giving that option because for me, the curator in me finds it really hard to go to sample sales because I have before and bought things that I'm like, why did I just buy this? It was just really exciting and it was just really pretty in the corner. So you have options now. I just want to let us know that we all have some options, but honestly, Godspeed. I'm so excited to be watching all of the TikToks constantly. Don't worry, I will feel FOMO, but I will still report back if anybody buys anything insane. This is now way longer than I thought. My last point, literally, I remember stalking people going to the row sample. Clearly, I haven't changed much. It's been years of me doing this. I remember stalking people going to the row sample sale, and one girl, I wonder if I could find this video and put it in here. That would be iconic. If I can find it, there you go. If not, it means that I didn't go far back enough in my camera roll. There was a girl who got a black medium double circle bag, and I was like, I need to find this bag. So if anything, if you are obviously not in New York, this video is very New York coded. So if you're not in New York, here's the positive side. Watch all those stories. Watch my next video where I report on whatever people bought, because that might spark in you. Like I saw somebody got like the Geo tote bag last year and I was like, ooh, see, that person knew exactly what they wanted and exactly what they were doing. But if you are not in New York and didn't get into the row sample sale, or did, and there's nothing that you wanted or nothing at the time that, you know, was out that you had access to, you can now search on the pre-loved market. So there you go. There's the marriage of the 2 points that I was saying. Godspeed, good luck. I cannot wait to hear. Please sound off in the comments if you end up going, even if this is 3 weeks, 4 months, however long in the future. I can't wait to hear. And yeah, good luck, guys. I love you guys so much and I can't wait to see you in my next one. Bye, guys.